All right, welcome. We're going to do a little bit of movement. We'll do some mindfulness, some breath work, some meditation. And I'll invite you to start. We'll do a little bit of self massage. We'll start with the ears. So if you want to just grab onto your earlobes and, gently but firmly pulling those down or away from your head, maybe squeezing them or massaging them, just maybe the backs of the ears or that spot, like right where the ears connect to the neck. There are some ligaments and tendons there that sometimes feel a little sticky. So just giving yourself some gentle touch and then moving your way up the ears and kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but unrolling at the tops and giving yourself again like a little massage, maybe pulling the tops of the ears away from the head if that feels good, or massaging the backs of the ears, right where the ear meets the side of the head. Maybe gently putting the fingers not too far, but just a little bit inside and rotating those around to again, see the stretch, see how it feels. Doing things that feel nourishing and feel good, not anything that's uncomfortable or painful. Lovely. And maybe you work down the neck a little bit if that feels good, kind of towards the back of the head to the point where your skull meets the neck. And just give that a little TLC, a little love, a little. You can be kind of static and just put a little pressure, or you can work in small circles, whatever feels nice in your body today. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the hands back comfortably, either palms up or palms down on the lap, and we'll just very gently work into the shoulders. Again, this can be, one by one up and down, or you might want to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back and down, nice and slow. We're just experimenting. How does the body feel today? Is there a imbalance between the left and the right side? And we just notice it without judging, saying, oh, well, this is how it feels today, or this is where I'm at today. And we'll meet ourselves exactly where we're at without expecting things to be other than how they are. And then if you like, we'll do the same with the neck. Maybe you tip the chin towards the chest and then tip the nose up towards the ceiling. That might feel nice in your neck. Again, very slowly, deliberately. 80% is good enough. It doesn't need to be an intense stretch or a fast movement. Maybe it would feel good to tip one ear towards a shoulder and then the opposite ear towards the other shoulder. That might be nice. And you can either come back to center and switch to the other side, or you can roll the neck towards the chest, chin to chest, and come up on the other side. Play with a couple different variations. Maybe you want to go all the way around, and tipping the head back feels really good. Ask your body what it would like right now, what would feel like it loosens you up, what would feel like it makes you feel a little more flexible and a little more relaxed, and see if you can do that. And then when your neck feels like it's all right, we're doing okay, we'll come into the hips and the low back. So you might start with tucking and untucking the tailbone, even almost imperceptibly, like a little millimeter here and there. Or you might come into a bigger cat-cow pose if that feels good in your body. Thinking about extending and flexing. Or if that's not right for you, maybe some hip circles would be good. moving to the side and the back and the other side and the front. Or maybe it's a combination of those to really feel into the body. We spend a lot of time in our heads. And so sometimes we aren't even really aware when we're stiff or tight or when things feel constricted. So putting in some nice, gentle movements can help us know what parts of our body need a little extra care, what parts of our body are feeling good. And then when you're ready, I'll invite you to find the most comfortable position. There's no rush to do this. You can feather your nest. You can adjust how you're sitting. If you're feeling chilly or warm, you might put on or take off layers. If you can do something to make yourself more comfortable, sometimes a footrest or something behind the low back would help. And then if your eyes are open, I'll invite you to close them, or you can kind of have a half gaze, make your eyes go fuzzy. You might find a drishti in the distance, a point of focus. And then just find the breath in the body. We don't need to change it. Although sometimes the breath changes just when we look at it, which is fine. We don't need to actively not change it either. Just, let it be how it is. Can you feel the breath as it comes in? Cold in and warm out? Maybe that's where you're feeling the breath in the nose. Maybe you feel it in the chest. Little rise, little fall. Maybe you feel the breath in the belly. Again, rising on the inhale and sinking on the exhale. Or maybe there's another part of your body where the breath is feeling prominent. Make it easy. Inhale, I am inhaling. Exhale, I am exhaling. The breath is a lovely anchor to keep us in this present moment. And if we fall out of the present moment, if a thought decides to come into our head, that's okay. That's the brain loves thinking and telling us about what it's thinking. All we have to do is say, thank you, that's thinking, and not follow the thought. Sometimes that's easy and sometimes that's hard. We can think about the thoughts as clouds in the sky. We can think about the thoughts as leaves floating down a river. We can notice them. We can see that they are separate from us. We don't have to attach ourselves to the thought. I invite you to take a big inhale, fill the chest, fill the belly, and sigh it out. If you'd like to set an intention for this practice, now's a great time to do that. We can set it in present tense as if it's already happened. I stay in the present moment. I am relaxed. I take care of my physical and mental health, or whatever shows up for you. Sometimes it's something we've been working with for a long time, and sometimes it's something new. Repeat it a couple times to yourself, either out loud or in your head. Send it out to the universe. Let the universe help conspire to make it so. And then I'll invite you to join me in some 4-7-8 breathing. You might already be familiar with this pattern. We'll inhale for 4, hold the breath at the top for 7, and exhale for 8. If the retention doesn't suit you, in for 4, out for 8 is great. If the hold is too long, make it shorter. Count faster. Count fewer numbers. Make this breath work in your body so that you feel calm and relaxed rather than worried or stressed out about it. Inhaling for 4, holding the breath at the top. And exhaling for 8. Maybe making that whisper sound opening the throat like a ujjayi breath if you're familiar with that on the exhale. It's optional. Carrying on with this pattern 4, 7, 8, and I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Take your time. We'll do one more round of breath like this. Inhaling for 4. Holding the breath at the top for 7. And the longest, slowest exhale of your day so far. And then gently allowing the breath to return to what feels natural in your body. Nice and easy. In and out through the nose where you can. Seeing if you can engage the diaphragm even just a little bit so that you're breathing and the belly rises. And you exhale and the belly falls. We'll scan the body, gently resting the attention on each body part. And maybe you send the breath there, or you remind that part of the body that it's okay to relax. Sometimes it's easy to feel the sensations in a specific part of the body, and other times less so. That's fine. You can simply visualize where that body part is in space if it's more difficult today to hone in on how that body part feels. And we'll start at the top of the head, coming down to the forehead, letting the forehead be smooth, letting the eyeballs rest in their sockets, letting all of the little muscles around the sides of the eyes relax. And the cheek muscles, maybe slightly separating the teeth if they're touching, letting the jaw be slack. Coming down to the neck and the upper back. The left shoulder blade and the right. And then coming into the right hand. the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the little baby finger. Palm of the hand and the back of the hand. The wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, and the upper arm. And then bringing the attention to the left hand, the thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, and the ring finger, and the little baby finger, palm of the hand, and the back of the hand, the wrist, and the lower arm, the elbow, and the upper arm. And then bringing the attention to the heart center. We'll take 3 breaths here. And then coming down to the upper belly and the low belly. The right hip and the left hip. And then jumping the attention all the way down to the right foot, the arch of the foot, the ball of the foot, and all of the toes. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the little baby toe. Top of the foot and the ankle, the heel and the Achilles, the shin and the calf, the front of the knee, and the soft bit behind the knee. The thigh and the hamstrings. And then thinking of the entire right leg as one. Moving the attention to your left hip. And then down to the left foot, the arch of the foot, and the ball of the foot, the big toe, second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the little baby toe. The top of the foot and the ankle, the heel, up the Achilles to the calf, the shin to the knee, the soft bit behind the knee, and the left hand, thigh, hamstrings. Finally, bringing the attention to the tailbone and walking your attention up the spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to the base of the skull, and then to the top of the skull. And we'll take 3 breaths here. From the top of the head to the soles of the feet, and from the soles of the feet to the top of the head. And then as we wind down this meditation, start thinking about which body part would like to move first. Is it the eyes and their sockets, the tongue, the fingertips, the toes? Just making some micro movements and letting those turn into bigger movements, maybe a stretch. And if your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.